Palate, the show where I, Pasticie Luna, here with my co-host.
Manga Chef Isaiah.
See, I feel like you're getting into the groove of it now. Now you don't seem to be so tripped up by the mix-up. Um, yeah, but we proceed to watch and/or read a thing and talk about it. And this week I got to choose, and I chose Gekkan Shoujo Nozaki-kun, which is a show and a manga. So we're going to talk about the show, and the show aired from July 7th, 2014 to September 22nd, 2014. So it's a few years old now, but I still really like it. And the main people, we have Umetaro Nozaki, voiced by Yoichi Nakamura. He was on Haikyuu, One Punch Man. He's the brother, Kyosuke from Oriimo. And for me, he's Mokochi's little brother. Yay! I know you still hate Watamote.
Oh, I didn't think we were gonna talk about it ever again. But
No, hey. I love her. So,
he doesn't love her.
his brother? No, her brother hates him. Anyway, and there's Chio Sakura, voiced by Ari Ozawa, who is on Origami, and I think you and I know her way better as Poppy the Harpy from Mamusu.
Yay for Poppy. Yay.
Yeah, Poppy wa Harpy Paprabi, is she so very often does. Then there's Mikorin, or rather Mikoto Mikoshiba, voiced by Nobuhiko Okamoto, who is Accelerator, who is like the main antagonist of a lot of those weird Toaru index things. He's also Bakugo on Boku no Hero Academia, the kid who explodes stuff with his hands. And this is for us, and anyone who listens to this show, Mitsuo, the dorky guy on Danshi Kokosei no Nichijou. Remember Mitsuo, who had his super secret trick of cheating at soccer?
No.
This is my special move. I put a clear acrylic goalpost in the ground so that I would kick the ball at it, and then it would bounce off, and it would go into the soccer net, thereby getting me more points and a goal. And then fucking Hidenori catches it anyway. And it was also...
Sounds dumb.
Yeah.
Secret technique.
Then there's Yuzuki Seo, voiced by Miyuki Sawashiro, who was Fujiko Mine in like the 2015 version of Lupin Sansei. She's Seikitsu Taro, which is specifically for me, because that's from Sayonara Setsubo Sensei. She's the girl who's probably from the Philippines, I think, based on the fact that her name is actually Maria. And she bought a dude's name. Sekitsu Taro is, of course, a pun on Sekiu Taro, as every fucking name in that show is a pun. She also did all the little squeaks and noises for Baby Beale from Beelzebub. And this one's for you. She's Fukawa from Danganronpa.
Ah.
Huh.
Would you look at that?
Yeah. Then there's Yu Kashima. I hate this woman. Voiced by Mai Nakahara. She was Chisayuki Zome in Danganronpa 3, so there's that. And she was Reina Ryugu from Higurashi. Remember the girl with the giant meat cleaver?
Yes.
Yes. So as you can tell, there's a theme going on here. Everyone here is somebody. Which is good. I'm gonna get to my favorite one soon enough. There's Hirotaka Wakamatsu, who was voiced by Ryohei Kimura. Um, he was on. He's Kodaka from Haganai, the guy. So yeah, and he's also the lead guy on Higashi no Iden, which had like movies and multiple runs of a series. Good show. I really liked it. It's interesting. It's dramatic. It has that amnesia gimmick. It's pretty wild. Now there's my favorite guy, Masayuki Hori, voiced by Yuki Ono. I love Yuki Ono so much. Okay, so here are some things Yuki Ono has done that you should know. First one, I'm gonna go with a real far reach on this one, cause I know you fucks don't know. He was Emilio, the lead of the captains, the Biscotti Knights on Dog Days. Yeah, who remembers that? No
The
one.
captain.
Of
the
the
one that-
Biscotti Knights, the guy with the bluish hair.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was Yuki Ono. He's on Kuroko no Basket as like one of the lead protagonists. In the 2 times they animated the characters from Yankee Kunto Megane-chan, partially to be part of a crossover with Yamada Kundanani no Maho, and partially to be in the background of Yamada Kundanani no Maho, he voiced Daichi Shinagawa, the male protagonist of Yankee Kunto Megane-chan, and I fucking love both of those manga. Recently, they adapted Yuragi Sona Yunasan, which I really like, and then he got the lead, Kogarashi Fuyuzora, and the reason you should probably know Yuki Ono is because he's my favorite JoJo, Josuke. Josuke Higashikata from JoJo no Kimi no Boken Diamond wa Kudakanai. So, yeah.
The
Now they're all
best JoJo.
best JoJo. He's best JoJo. He's one of my favorite characters of all time, Shinagawa, and he's Fuyuzora. And I really love Yuragi Sona Yunasan. I remember when the voice cast was getting pulled out for part 4, and I was like, Yuki Ono, I know that name. And I looked it up, and I was like, Hori! Best boy from Gekkan Shoujo Nozaki-kun! I got so excited. So, Manga Chef Isaiah, what is Gekkan Shoujo Nozaki-kun?
It's comedy,
Yeah,
kinda.
yeah. It's funny.
It's Nozaki. He's a manga artist,
Correct.
and
By the way, the title means monthly girls, Nozaki-kun.
yeah, he writes girls manga.
He writes shoujo manga. He writes a shoujo manga called Let's Fall in Love.
But the thing about him is like he gets all his inspiration from actual people.
I mean, they say write what you know, but I feel like that's borderline illegal.
Yeah. But he just changes it to like a girl, and
Mikorin best girl.
and Sakura has a crush on him.
Okay, so how does this whole thing start? What is it? What's happening?
She tries to confess to him,
Yeah?
but then he doesn't get it. Or
Well,
she
what
ends
did
up
she
saying
say?
he's his fan
Yeah, she says I'm a fan
all
of
the
yours.
time.
And he's like, oh, I get you. I
Yeah.
didn't know you knew.
And he gives her his autograph.
Because, I mean, wouldn't you?
Yeah, biggest fan. And yeah, so she's trying to like confess to him, but he keeps not getting it, or she keeps messing it up.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's-
he helps her work on the manga. I mean,
She helps
work
him, yeah.
on-
And then she
he
meets
gets
all
some
his friends
Yep.
who help him work on the manga.
And they slowly realize they're part of the manga.
I don't think so.
Actually, no, they never realize it.
No, they don't.
But
That's
we
the
realize
opposite of
it.
what happens. We're aware. They are not. Chio is aware. She gets it. Because the first time he introduces Miko Shiba, he goes like, oh yeah, Mikorin's the greatest. Mikorin's my best friend. I literally based the main girl protagonist on Mikorin. She was like, "Wow, Mikorin must be great." And sees this tall guy with like little bud earrings. I was like, "Who's this dwarf?" She goes, "How could this possibly be? How could that? How could that even begin to make sense?" And then the more she hangs out with Mikorin, the more obvious it is.
Yeah.
Mikorin, best girl. Okay, so where do you want to go with this? How do you want to do this? Tell me what you have to say about Gekkan Shoujo Nozaki-kun.
It's gonna be a gag thing again.
Oh, I fucking love this so much. I
You
love
like the
I love.
jokes.
It's not even just the jokes. I just like seeing them being obligated to hang out. I like watching their bizarre personalities bounce off of each other because it's a lot. I don't know. When you compare it to like a young Koma, where like the joke is literally it, all people only exist to tell a joke and then leave. This is a lot different than that. The joke is they're next to each other, less so than the joke is something they said.
Uh, like their personalities just clash.
Correct. Well, clash or go together really well. That's kind of it. For example, Mikorin is essentially a girl. The only difference between Mikorin and the protagonist Mamiko from the shoujo manga is that Mikorin is probably like 5'10" and has a dick. That's it. Only difference between Mikorin and Mamiko.
Yep.
That's why I love him so much. He is hysterical to watch. So, for those of you who aren't familiar with shoujo manga, it's essentially just manga like aimed at at a demographic of girls from like 12 to 16, maybe a little bit younger, like 8 to 16. But the point is, it's like girl likes guy, tries to express how much she likes guy, botches it. Adventure continues. Guy does thing to show girl he might be interested. She goes, "Oh, maybe." Then she backs down. And that's every shoujo manga ever, sort of.
Sakura's like a prime example.
Correct. But about Chio, the difference is, she has said things, she just fucks it up. In shoujo manga, it's more like they look at the guy and go like, "Oh, he's so handsome. I don't know if I could like, oh, I won't say anything." And then like the guy comes in the way and like protects her from some stupid bullshit. Like the shit that Nozaki draws is almost every shoujo manga I've ever read.
The walking with the bike scene.
Yeah. I've seen that like 8 times. Off the top of my head. The thing about going to Golcon and then getting flirted with but not wanting to be like too forward and then the guy you like saves you, I've seen that like 8 times. Maybe like 20 total, but off the top of my head, things I've read, yeah, like 8. And then the whole, I want to tell him how I feel, why can't I ever talk right? That specific phrasing, I've seen 15 times. That's what I love about this so much, is that they present that and they go like, this isn't real. And then you look at Mikorin and go, when you see it in real life, it's a completely different thing, isn't it?
He does it out loud too.
Oh yeah, he does. Because he's an idiot. And he doesn't know how to act. That's why I love him. Because he's like, this will be cool, and then he like thinks beyond himself and goes, "Good God, I just said something horribly embarrassing, but I can't walk it back. Shit. Someone help me. Please help me." That's why I love Mikorin. I love that Mikorin played Garge and just got mad at the girl for asking him out on a date. What a hero, Mikorin. Mikorin is friends with Kashima, not because they have anything really in common, but only because Mikorin kept trying to challenge her at things and kept losing and just kind of accepted it as, you know what, we're rivals. That's not what's happening, Mikorin. You're getting blown the fuck up every day. You can tell yourself that's what's happening, but that's not what's happening. Mikorin gets lonely and jealous incredibly quickly. When they're doing their stupid girl role play for the Golcon, right? The mixed group date, and then like Nozaki just. And that's another thing. I love that Nozaki is like cartoonishly unaware of other people. Nozaki Nozaki is aware of people in the grander sense. So like when Seo is walking around and he sees her being a huge bitch inadvertently, he goes, "She has to realize she's being like a huge bitch, right?" And it's like, no, she doesn't get it. He goes, "Oh, that's awful." But when it's like, "Hey Nozaki, what do you think we should do about this?" He's like, using my experience writing manga for little girls, I have this in mind. It's like, that doesn't help. I don't know. This is all I had. Like, I mean, he was playing the god again. What did he do? He played it from a girl's perspective. And then when it went poorly, he was like, I don't get it. I don't understand what this is. Why isn't it working? I've been writing for years. I should know how girls work. Like, he got hurt professionally. It hurt his professional pride. So yeah, Miko Shiba, because he likes to talk hot shit but could never really back it up. Some guys go, "Hey, we're gonna go on a Gokon, and we need you to help us, Miko-rin." And he's like, yeah, you got it." And then he goes to Nozaki and he goes, "I don't know how to talk. You know I can't talk to girls. You've seen me. I talk really like flowery and dumb shit and flirt, and then immediately cowered out. We're friends. Help me." And Nozaki goes, "I got an idea." And then they go like, "Why don't we just do a role play to test things out?" And Nozaki, at first, Mikorin is the girl because it just felt natural. And then he goes, "Wait a second, this isn't fucking helping me. That's stupid. Why would I be the girl if I need to talk to girls?" And Nozaki just puts on rabbit ears and goes, "All right, cool, let's do it.
With the straightest face.
I am Umeko Pion." Pion is the sound effect of a rabbit hopping. So he's every once in a while, he's like finishes sentences with hop. And he's like, "I'm interested in meeting a guy or two. Hop." At which point, Chio shows up and goes like, "What the hell are you guys doing?" And he calls her and he goes, "Hey, do you think you can help out?" She's like, "Sure." And she calls to help out. And they both do awful. And then every 2 seconds, Nozaki, now calling himself Umeko, goes to the bathroom with Chio as if to gossip talk, leaving Mikorin literally alone at the table.
And he feels lonely.
Yeah, well, hold on. So this is it. So he goes. So at first he goes. They get up and he goes like, "Oh, hey, I'm Miko Shiba. It's cool." And then fucking Nozaki just goes, "Chio, bathroom now." And he goes like, "Oh, what?" And then they go over. He goes like, "How do you feel that introduction came out?" "I don't know. He feels kind of gawky." And he goes like, "I don't think we need to leave the room. Like, it's literally just the three of us. Should we be giving him the comments to help him out?" And then they go back. He goes like, "What do you do with your time off?" I like to play games and listen to music." And then Chio, bathroom now. And he's like, fucking, And he goes over and he's like, "Can you believe he called himself a gamer? He's an indoor kid, isn't he? I don't really know how to feel about that." Nozaki, I think we should really be telling him these things. "Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I'm getting into the role." And then they go back, and then he tries again, and it goes bad. And then as the second Nozaki goes like, "Chio, bathroom," it's fucking Miko Shiba goes, "Why do you guys leave me alone? Let me get involved. We're friends, damn it." And they go like, "Okay." And then he comes to the bathroom, and I guess his concept of woman is hands up in the face. So he goes like, "I went to this cake shop," and then he start talking. 2 17-year-old guys pretending to be girls hanging out with a girl. When the entire point of this was to get Mikori ready to talk to women.
It's such a hard joke.
That's what I mean by like, it's less like a yonkoma where there's just the one bit, and this is more, alright, Nozaki's habit is to get really, really hard on stupid shit, and Mikorin is functionally a girl.
So it's like a continuous bit.
Exactly. There's a bunch of different jokes to that. Like, even when fucking Chio first shows up, like, Nozaki's like serving Mikorin a drink, and she goes like, "What is going on?" And Nozaki goes, "This is exactly what you think it is." And she goes, "Exactly what I think it is. Mikorin getting served by someone wearing bunny ears." Have I seen? Oh, I have seen this before. And she imagines it to be like a creepy cabaret club because she comes over, stomps her foot on the table, and goes like, "That means you was 300,000." And he goes, "This is not what we're doing right now." And she goes, "Oh shit, I'm sorry." Like every part of it. And yeah, so I'm like, no, I wouldn't really call it just a gag thing because gag things usually have like very specific kinds of jokes that they go with. Here, the joke is more just them hanging out with each other. Like Wakamatsu being soft is his defining character trait. So everyone he's with, he's soft. Whether or not that works out is independent of that fact. Get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what I like so much about it. So now, with given that context, was there anything you wanted to pick, or should I just go? Besides Mikori Best Girl, I have two other things I want to go on a bit about. So you tell me if you got anything.
I still like the bike in the first part.
Oh, you like the bike in the first episode?
Yeah.
I do like how he explained it. He was like, well, things that are illegal, I am not allowed to draw because they're illegal. So, they give me trouble for it, for depicting illegal stuff. Which doesn't sound realistic, but fuck it.
So he gets a two-wheeled bike.
Yeah, he gets a bicycle for two people. It's got the two seats.
She just hates it.
Well, she thinks it doesn't look cool.
Yeah.
Which is fair. It doesn't look cool. Tandem bicycles do not look cool.
He's like, can I get a romance feeling off of this?
Well, yeah, everything he does is for his job. What I like is when he tried to escalate it further by adding more seats to the bicycle. He's like, "Hey, Chia, what do you think about this as an example?" And then it shows the manga with like the main guy Suzuki with 3 other seats on his fucking 4-person tandem bicycle. And he's like, "Alright, who's going to ride with me today?" And girl's like, "Whoa." And she is like, I don't think this works. And then it cuts, and then it shows the manga again, and Mamiko is like he offers her a ride on his 4-person tandem bicycle. She goes, "How many other people have sit in those seats?" And then she like runs away. And she is just like, "Yeah, no, I don't think that's gonna work." And he's like, okay, fine, I understand.
I feel like his editor knows more about girls manga than him too.
I mean, his editor just says, "Cut the shit," and then he fixes it.
Stop being retarded.
Stop being a fucking idiot. Which, I think that's like one of my favorite things. So, like, his editor used to be the other guy. Like, there's 2 editors, right? There's the guy who never shuts up about Tanuki, and then Ken. And Ken's like kind of subdued and bored. He's like, "I didn't really want to do this, but whatever." And then the other guy's just a major dick who like really only cares about himself. And Nozaki used to work with the other guy, and he's like, "I prefer Ken's so much more. He gives me legitimate notes sometimes." Mind you, the notes are, "What the fuck is this supposed to mean?" And he goes, "That's a good point, Ken's." But I guess it's better than the other guy. The alternative is significantly worse.
Doesn't care at all.
Doesn't care at all. He makes that poor girl just constantly throw Tanuki in there. For him. It's the most for me it could possibly get.
Because I like Tanuki.
I like Tanuki. Also, about Mikorin being mad at the Garge, I love that by the end, Mikorin and Nozaki decide that the real protagonist, the real heroine, is your best friend, dude. And they're like, "We need to write a love story for Tomoda." Like, yeah, he means the most to us. He's so special and nice. He helps us so much. Why weren't you enjoying your high school life, Tomoda? You hero. You man. You prince among men. And then like they go, "Alright, so then who should we pair him with?" He's like, "Yeah, we have to pick someone good. No, nothing but the best for our pal, Tomoda." And then they go, "Who does he seem to love the most?" "The protagonist." So they end up just writing a gay love story for the entire night. And when like Chio shows up and they're like fucking dead because they've been up the entire night playing the God Gate and then writing a gay romance story. She like picks up the paper, goes like, "Hey guys." She picks up the sheet and it just shows the protagonist with like no face because that's how those always work, saying, "I love you more than any of those 12 girls, Tomoda," and it shows like Tomoda crying. Goes, "Why would you say that? I, I just wanted. I thought I'd be happy if I could just support you." And I was just like, "Whoa, oh shit, that looks good. I want to read that." And then Chia just looks at them while they're like passing, while they're slowly passing out. You're like, "What the fuck happened? What led to this?" It's great. It's great. But yeah, I want to talk about how much I hate Kashima.
Oh yeah.
How she's an awful human being.
Well,
It's
I guess if she did it, if she talks properly, wouldn't be a show. But
no. Seo and Kashima are awful human beings, and I am amazed no one has like assaulted them or something. I am genuinely amazed because Seo talks really mean shit inadvertently, and when people hit her, she's like, "Why?" And Kashima seems so dependent on Hori, it's disturbing. It's weird. Hori seems to think of her as like a unruly son, but Kashima is just, I don't know. She talks like Mikorin, but whereas Mikorin does it and feels like weird and stupid and like he goes like that was embarrassing. Kashima just keeps going, which ends up making things more difficult for everyone. I realized that the thing that bothers me about Kashima isn't even that she like spends all her time flirting with chicks or something. My issue with Kashima is you're giving people work. You're making things difficult for others, and that's the worst possible way to live your life. To me, at least. As a person who lives with an oddly collectivist point of view, there's nothing worse to me than someone who makes things more difficult for everyone involved. That's what it boils down to. Cause like, Kashima, or where are you supposed to be? I'm supposed to be practicing, but I'm gonna hang out with these girls instead. And then Hoshi has to spend time, go over, get her, drag her back. Well, and sometimes when Kashima's supposed to help, she just makes things more difficult for everyone involved. But hey, paint this thing. Yeah. Hey, paint this thing. Okay, cool. Oh, girl made a mistake. Cool. Come on to her aggressively, thereby making other girls who want you to come on to them aggressively also fuck up their jobs, just so you'll go over. Great, now 18 people have fucked up their jobs, and everything is taking so much longer than it needs to. Why? Why do these things have to happen? Why must you make life difficult? I'm just saying, why do you have to make life difficult for everybody? That's why I don't feel bad when like Hori gives her a German suplex and makes her bleed out of her mouth. Like, you deserve punishment. You're an awful human being. How could you do that? It's like say like you're on a team, right? And you're like everybody's gonna do this part of the PowerPoint, and then the day comes to like be to finish up, and your PowerPoint is like a scribbling of the sun. Like someone should hit you. Someone should get up on stage or like in the front of the class, just kick the shit out of you. And there should be uproarious applause thanking him for doing it. You're a monster. You're a monster. Also, I'm amazed that like part of her feels that she's incredibly endearing. The gall it takes of a human being to feel that way. Like, everybody loves me. No, most people just put up with you. Because you're really good at what you do. It makes me think of like Ingve Malmsteen is like an amazing guitarist, but he's a huge asshole. So nobody likes Ingve, but they'll work with him because his playing is really good. Makes me think of that.
Because her acting's really good.
Yeah, her acting's amazing. Literally the only reason the club puts up with her. Majority of the reason Hori is so fond of her too. Like Kashima's a great kid, but you know sometimes you have to fucking whip her in. Like he talks of her like a father. He's a good kid, but sometimes they just need a little guidance. Although his version of guidance is German suplexing her.
I don't know. I don't really hate her, but she does make things like annoying.
That's why I hate her though. That's the only reason I don't like her. I don't mind that she spends all her time flirting with girls. I don't mind that like she mistakes a lot of the things that she does. What I mind, what bothers me is just the whole make things more difficult for everyone involved. Because why? Why? It's like how Voltaire, I mean, no, Dante Alighieri hated traitors. So it was like, you know who's in the worst part of hell? Where Satan is like frozen and like just reaming you with metal spikes and his big weird goat dick. Traitors. That's where they go. He hated traitors. That's why he did that. And like only the worst people go there. You know who the worst people are? Traitors. Mine is people who make things difficult for everyone. That's my worst kind of person.
Oh, so it's just your preference. Like,
Preference?
is that the wrong word? It's just
Preference
your
is the thing I like better.
or dislike.
Yeah, it's just it's my personal button. You know, the little they go like don't push those buttons. You know, it's like that. There's nothing I hate more than people who make things more difficult for everyone. There's the one redeeming feature, and that's her acting skill, and that's it.
So she didn't have her acting skill. You just
There's no reason for her to physically be anywhere.
oh.
Leave. Just go somewhere. Go somewhere that is far away from me. As far as you could possibly get. Like I remember there's that part where they go, Hori, how? Because everyone else for some reason seems to think that Kashima and Hori like each other, like romantically. When really it just seems to be that Hori thinks of her as a child, and Kashima's way too buddy. That seems to be it. Or at least from their perspective, that's how they talk about each other. And they go like, Hori, how would you feel if you got a girlfriend? Would you like to introduce them to Kashima? He's like, no. I'm like, oh, is it because he feels it'd be awkward? He goes, yeah, I feel like she would flirt with my girlfriend and or wife and just take them from me somehow.
Dang.
Yeah.
Sick burn.
It's just like, no. Like, that's not... I just like, what? Why? No. There's the part where, like, Kashima goes, like, I have the position of a cute junior. And it's like, I don't think you understand how he thinks of you. Don't you see how much he beats you? He's just like, yeah. Well, it's because he loves me. And I'm like, oh, that seems disturbing. There's something wrong with you there. And I love that when she goes up to Hori, who's talking to Nozaki, goes like, between me and Nozaki, who do you prefer? Nozaki. Oh. And she goes to Chiyo's like, please help. Please, make me feel better. And then Chiyo, because Chiyo's genuinely in love with Nozaki, she responds with, oh, that sucks. But to be honest with you, I'd pick Nozaki too. And she's like, we're friends. Why are we friends?
I just think she's like so unaware of like how people feel about her. Or I mean not feel about her, but like how she's like harming other people. That she just keeps doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's like Zao. Zao doesn't really seem to care. She walked all over that guy's like big calligraphy painting and didn't even really notice. Those two people were having a romantic moment and she just kind of pushes between them and goes like, sorry. Anyway. Which is why Sao gets rocked by other people. Also, Sao bullying Wakamatsu is because I think at least as far as the manga's concerned, is because she genuinely likes him. Because Kashima and Hori have a completely different dynamic going on. I can't remember what it was, but somebody said something bad about Kashima and Hori's like, there are good points. Her acting. Do you have anything else? He's like, no. Also, there's that part where, like, Hori didn't even realize Kashima was a girl, so they were changing in the same room. And he's like, "Oh, you're wearing a bra." I was like, "Yeah." Because, "Wait, are you a girl?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, that's weird," and they just left.
He has zero interest.
Yeah, no, as I said, he often talks of her the way one does an unruly son, you know? Well, like, he's a good kid, he needs some guidance. He needs some place in his life. That's honestly how he sounds whenever he talks about her. He's like, she's a great actor, she's handsome, she belongs in magazines. He's like, right. But, like, do you want to spend time with her? No more than is necessary. No, thank you. That's how it sounds. And there's other times where he talks about her like a doting grandpa, where he's like, "Oh, poor kid," and her just not knowing how to talk to him sometimes inadvertently sexually harasses him, and he has to hit her. It's, by the way, I do really like that the when she was ruining the entire painting of the props for the play, he walked over, just hit her in the face with the prop, and then she responds. To which, when she tells Chio, like, "Yeah, we need help," she responds with, "I mean, if you think about it, you broke the prop he hit me with, so fair trade." I'm like, that's not what that means. That's the opposite of what that means. There is now a broken prop. Someone has to fix or replace. Why don't you understand? Why are you the worst? And it's like,
No one
Kashima
ever
goes,
told her that, though.
no, no. Because no one really says shit. They're like, just act, and that's it. Just get out of here after that.
Oh, like,
Act
they
though.
gave up on her.
That's what I mean. Like, she reminds me of Ingve Malmsteen in the way that they're really good at what they do, and the second they're not doing that, no one cares. Ingve Malmsteen's an amazing guitarist. He's a huge asshole. And I love that man's playing. A lot of his playing has deeply influenced the way I consider some runs. Has given me a new outlook on playing guitar. And it's like, hey, you can play the guitar the way people play piano. Like, it's awesome, and I love it. I could not bear to be around that man. He is a dick.
He's pretty, like, most of his songs are, mostly for him, right? Like the solos.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was kicked out of so many bands because he just didn't want to give other people space in the musical sense. Or it'd be like, hey, Ingve, are you gonna stop your solo? No. But, like, we need to get back to that. No, I'm playing. You when I'm done, you'll go. And then when they finally enough people kicked him out, he's like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna make my own band where I don't have to stop. And he did. And you know what? He's an incredibly influential player, and he's really good. I'm not knocking his playing. I'm just saying, as far as people go, fuck that guy. You know?
Reminds me of Buki Miota. Danganronpa.
I don't even hate her. Like, I just couldn't put up with her. Cause, like, with Miyoda, oh wow, okay. Hey everybody, did you play Danganronpa too? Cause if not, this probably makes no sense. But so Ibuki Miyoda from
We're going off a
Danganronpa.
hard tangent.
But I mean, look, I have to explain it for it to make sense.
Okay.
Ibuki Miyoda in Danganronpa, because the premise of Danganronpa is it's a school where everybody goes to the school is really good at something. Maybe multiple things, but they're really, really good at one thing. So Miyoda's thing is she's a really, really good musician. She can do whatever the fuck she wants, but she really likes the guitar. So she's really, really good at the guitar, but she likes to play weird avant-garde bullshit. The way a lot of musicians usually end up doing. I know my math rock is weird and avant-garde for me. But yeah, so when she plays a song in the game, you listen to it, you're like, oh, I get why the rest of her bandmates were not interested in sticking around for this. And so yeah, and when you hang out with her during the free time events where you get to be friends and buddy with people, she like just sort of drags you around and treats you kind of crappy. Like what's that thing where she's like, I want to be in a band with you, but you better pick something that doesn't eat up the spotlight, because I swear to God.
You give me a drummer.
Yeah, well, she gives you options, but if you pick anything but drummer, she goes like, no, no, I refuse. You will pull attention away from me. No. So when you pick drummer, she's like, good. In the background, important. All of this works for me. I'm okay with this. When she goes like, time for a club mate time to make you happy, she just drags you around the theme park, no matter what the fuck you want to do. Who cares what you want to do? I'm trying to cheer you up. In her own way, she's trying. It's just still awful. Which is why I'm like, I don't mind that as much. Because at least you could say that her separating from her band was her choice, you know?
Hmm.
Versus with Ingve, people just threw him out because they couldn't take it anymore.
So she tries to be nice.
Yeah, she tries. She's just bad at it. And
But he
Kashima's...
doesn't even try.
No. I tell you that story about the fucking interview he did for for that movie? No, the TV show Metal Evolution, where this guy's like studying the roots of music and like trying to follow a bunch of different musicians. He's like, okay, so it took me a very long time to pin him down, but Ingve is going to be at this castle in Italy. And he gets to the castle, and they go like, well, he's in a different castle. He just decided to not come here. So we have to go meet him at that other castle now. Shit. And then they went to go meet him. Because he just felt like not showing up.
I want to go to another castle.
Now this other castle's way cooler. Also, this is a real quote from the man, which I'll tell you. It makes me admire his playing style because it sort of explains a lot about it. But also, B, it really did show he was a dick even as a child. So like he goes, when I was like learning guitar with my tutor when I was younger, my tutor said, "Hey, you don't have to play so fast. Less is more." And I just thought to myself, how could that be? More is more. Which is like cool and awful at the same time. Because it's like, oh, that explains why you're playing is so extravagant and fancy and interesting and like, yeah. But at the same time, it's like, hey, 13-year-old, fuck you.
The tutor's probably like, oh my god, I hate this kid.
Yeah, he's like, look, I'm trying to give you some advice. He's like, no, eat a dick, old man. I'm gonna play fast. You can't stop me. You actually can't stop me. And he became one of the most important guitarists of a generation. So, I mean, you know, there was validity to what he was saying. Just saying.
More is more. He's
maybe
not wrong.
not. Yeah, I mean, 3 is more than 2. That is correct. That is correct. 2 is not more than 3. I understand your logic. I'm just saying. Maybe there are other ways to go about it, but
what did Carl say with the 51%?
Oh yeah. It was 50%. That's so much more than 51%. And then like he paused and said, "Wait," when he realized how little sense that made. Yeah, what a hero. What a good friend of ours. But that's what I mean. We're like, Kashima reminds me of that kind of person, where it's like, you're really good at one thing, so we'll put up with you up until the point when you're no longer bearable. Remember when she went on the Gokon and all the girls were sitting with her? And it's like, Kashima, do you know what the point of a Gokon is? No, I don't think you do. Fine, whatever. Fuck it. Who cares? Maybe don't invite her places, people. If you realize this is gonna go poorly, stop it right now. And that's what I love about Hori. Hori's like, as long as she's acting, she's great.
Does she
the second she's not acting, I can't fucking stand her.
Does she even date the girls?
No,
Right.
no.
Oh, it's even worse.
It's even worse. But I don't know.
Awesome.
As long as the girls are happy, I guess, whatever. The point is, Hori has gone on note. It's like, look, she's handsome. She's great at acting. She's great. I just wish she'd keep her fucking mouth shut. And that's not when he German suplexes her and go, "You're right. You're a hero amongst men. Hori's like a quadruple threat. Hori's the best. Hori's my favorite character besides Mikorin. Because Mikorin best girl, but Hori's just the best overall. Hori's an amazing actor. He's really good at drawing. He's really good at doing backgrounds. He does costuming. He does prop work. He's really good at a lot of different things. And the only reason he doesn't take off further is because he shines so bright it ruins shit for other people, so he just walks it back. See, that's a hero. That's a hero thing to do. It's like, I can't do bit parts. I actually am just functionally better than other people, and it's much more difficult for other people as a result. So let's just do background stuff. I can help other people shine, and I'm like, what a motherfucking hero. I love this man. And when no one can go get Kashima, Hori shows up, punches in their mouth, and goes, alright, let's go. Because God knows she wasn't going to come normally. That's a hero of a human being. Love him. Love him so
for
much.
People you hate, give them the German suplex.
Yeah. If I could just be legally given a license that allows me to German suplex people I hate, life would be very different.
Compared to the armbar, that's for people you like. Okay.
You armbar people you like, you German suplex people you hate. Okay, so then wait, if we're gonna stick with wrestling moves, what is a Hurricane Rana? Do you do because the Hurricane Rana takes a lot of effort in the way a German
I want
suplex.
to say marriage.
If you want to marry somebody, you give them the Dragon Rana.
Mm-hmm.
That's sick. I like that idea.
Lots of effort. And
instead of
commitment.
putting a ring on it, you give them a Hurricane Rana and shatter their spine. And go, you know what? I'm gonna be with you for the rest of this physical therapy.
Through sickness
and
pain.
everyone after that. Through sickness and in health. Yeah. That move was sick, wasn't it?
There goes your health.
It was great health. Don't worry about it. That's why we have health care. You'll recover that health. Shit, was that too many references at once?
I think we're talking in memes again.
I feel like we're talking to nobody again.
No, like you said before. We're only talking memes.
Yeah. Oh god, that's scary. That's a fearful thought. Cause like part of me was thinking that stupid meme with the parakeets on the skateboards.
I didn't see that one.
I showed it to you. I know I did. The one where the guy goes, I took my parakeets to the vet, just found out they're sick as fuck.
Oh yeah.
And it's like parakeets on tiny skateboards. And they're inside of like a fucking sink, because it looks like an empty pool. It's so fucking dumb. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, boy, that must have been out there. Did anyone get all of those fighting game and real wrestling references? Did that work? Did that carry over well?
Well, if you're here, you get it.
Yes, you are. If you are here, you have to get it. Please get it.
Buy our merch.
But stop it! We said we were gonna stop. No, wait. We said we were gonna stop. Why are you doing it again?
Okay.
What the fuck?
Okay.
We do not have merch. I'll reiterate it. Fire merch. Shit. Okay, food. So what do you want to? It's not sweet. I don't think.
Do you want to do one for the people and one for the anime, or is that too much?
For the people?
Or
What do you
just the prince?
Oh.
Kashima.
No. I feel it works like because the show isn't about Kashima.
But it's about the people, right?
Yeah,
Like you said before, it's about
That's
all the
what I
people.
mean by the show is about the people, so that's what the show is.
That's a lot of personality.
It is, but in the end of it, they're all friends and they're all just hanging out, right?
Yeah.
So like, how do we do that?
I
I don't know. It doesn't feel comforting to me the way like Danshikoku no Nichijou was. Because Danshikoku no Nichijou to me was like, oh fuck, I lived that experience. This is more like, oh, this is fun. I like this. Okay, this is this is probably me reaching really far. Um, but maybe come with me on this journey. Uh, four cheese mac and cheese.
Explain.
Yeah. It's like it's probably a little bit out there, but okay. So here's the thing. Um, when you make mac and cheese, how do you do it?
I use the powder.
Okay, cool. See, I don't do that. I make it like with a bechamel. So here's the thing. A bechamel sauce is sort of like a roux, and it's a very fundamental concept in a lot of cooking when you want to use like cheese, because it adds a creaminess and a texture to everything else. And in a bechamel, what you essentially do is put milk to steam, and then add flour to a desired thickness. After that, you grate in the cheeses, right?
Okay.
So with a four cheese mac and cheese, you use like a whole bunch of different ground cheeses, some of which are strong and sharp, and other ones are a lot more subdued, to add a lot of uh, to add more to the flavor profile of the mac and cheese than you would normally. And that's what I'm saying. And to me, at least, mac and cheese is very homey. It doesn't feel
Yeah,
like
I
the
would say
cut.
it's a home food. Definitely.
Yeah, right.
Mhm.
It feels like a very basic entry level thing people can learn to do, and it's a thing you make in your house, and it's also a thing you share with others. But this particular one, has a lot going on to it. So that's what I would say.
I was saying how like all the flavors
Yeah,
mixed
it's the
together
different
and come out
personality types
to be
complementing,
really.
like pecorino romano, and then cheddar, and then pepper. Like that's what I mean.
You could say like the pepper cheddar's like kashion,
Yeah,
like on its own.
yeah. It's on. Maybe I'm not really fucking into that, but hey, with all this other stuff, it works.
Okay, I like it. It's
All
four
right,
cheese
cool.
mac and cheese.
I know that was a bit of a reach because I didn't even think you'd begin to get where I was going with that.
We're getting in depth with our food choices now.
Well, I'm cooking really hard now, so
Yeah.
remember how many times have I brought things to a stupid group meeting so far?
Like every week.
I've only been back 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, I found out that a supermarket near me sells Chinese five spice. Oof, oof. I'm gonna start making bao and shit. It's gonna be hype. So, speaking of hype, it's time for our last segment.
Oh
Oh,
shit, I'm high. Oh
oh,
yeah.
oh yeah. So you go first.
Um. Wow, I forgot what I was talking about. Um.
Just give me a thing you're excited about.
Oh, there was Frosty Faustings yesterday.
So what?
There was a huge fighting game tournament.
Really?
Yeah.
What was being played?
Uh, all the fighters, Skullgirls, Guilty Gear. Oh yeah, that's what I'm excited about. Okay, so Guilty Gear XX.
XX? Like Midnight Carnival?
No, Accent Core.
Oh,
Um, there was this bridge player that did really well. And he went to the camera and showed Alstafo
you know, self picture,
on
body
his cell
photo.
phone. And he just showed it to the camera when he won. I was like, yeah,
Wait. So I got a picture on his phone
yeah,
of Alsalfo, and then was
yeah,
like, yeah!
yeah.
That guy
And he's
gets
swinging
it.
Bridget. Yeah,
That guy gets it.
yeah.
That guy's a real professional. That guy gets it.
And he came in second place. So
Came in second?
yeah,
That's what's up.
he
That's
was
what's up.
so hyped too.
I mean, wouldn't you be?
He just picked. He just took out a picture. He had an Alsafo T-shirt.
Oh, he had like the whole thing.
Yeah.
So he's like shit. What's his name? What's his name? What's the name of the Tekken guy who got really in on Idolmaster?
Not
Harada?
Majin, right?
No, no, not the Tekken player. The guy who works for Namco.
Uh,
Harada. That's it.
uh,
Harada goes to places with like shirts of Iori. Like that guy. It's amazing. It's amazing. Well, that's how the Tekken thing happened because he's like, yeah, I remember he explained it as like, so we were doing like tests for Tekken. Like he was checking the cab information because they had a thing to record information about people who played in the arcades in Japan, right?
mhm.
And then like one day it was like, and I remember Namco was trying to push Idolmaster, but no one was really on Idolmaster. So I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. And I looked at it and I played around and I really got into it. And then now he just wears Idolmaster shirts everywhere. He works on Tekken. The Idolmaster rules his heart.
Jeez.
Yeah. And I remember there was a picture of him wearing posing in a pose that Iori does, wearing a shirt with Iori on it.
Jeez.
Like, yeah.
I wonder if the guy that wrote Berserk is like that.
All in. No, he's all in on Bang Dream. Popping Girls Party. Just like Kenny Omega. Oh. Oh, what a hero.
Also, the guy that does Hunter x Hunter.
Wasn't he into Dragon Quest? It
Yeah.
was like Dragon Quest came out, you're not getting shit. Sorry, y'all. Ah, that's funny. That's a real funny thing. I do like that. Okay, so there's that tournament, right? What'd you say it was called?
Frosty Falcons.
Okay. So everyone, keep that in mind. And as for me, what I'm hype about is an oldie but a goodie. It's a movie that I rewatched yesterday. Well, no, not yesterday. It's been a few days. But the point is, I've rewatched the movie. American Psycho, starring Christian Bale. It's a shit. I forgot how good that movie was. I haven't watched it in a while. It's weirdly upsetting. Like in the way that it's not. I don't know. It's a very violent movie, but it's more interesting when you read the book. The way the book works is it's like the guys you read from the guy's perspective, and the book sort of gets more poorly written as it goes on because it's showing these descending into insanity. But instead, in the movie, like everything else seems to be a lot more strange, and it's only because his perspective is starting to fade as he does give into his psychosis. And there's a part where he's using an ATM, and it says "feed me," and he grabs a cat, and then he tries to put a gun to the cat's head, and I'm like, what the fuck? This guy went nutters. And he shoots the lady, and then police show up, and it's like, all of that is him imagining shit, because none of that even mattered. It didn't happen at all. He goes to an apartment where he's like, I killed a bunch of people, but it's empty. And he's like, I can't. So like the ambiguity there is the more disturbing thing, the machinations of the system that has allowed him to get to a position of power on Wall Street, and the dehumanizing nature of corporate stuff in the power hungry 1980s, or is it actually just his psychosis? See, like, it's such a weird and interesting movie. I like it a lot, and I forgot. It's not as good as the book because the book was oddly funnier in how boring and weird it was. But he would spend like entire chapters talking about a song,
Oh,
and then
that is weird.
and then the next chapter would be like, right, so then I raped and murdered a prostitute. While listening to that song I was talking about. There's a lot of times where he just fucking talks about bands or songs, and it's like amazing. I remember there's a part where he's like having sex with two prostitutes, and he's talking about Whitney Houston while they're making out. And one of them is like, you listen to Whitney Houston, and he just keeps going on. He's not even kind of paying attention to them. He just
Okay.
keeps, yeah. And then it's like there's times where he goes like, don't just look at it, eat it. Like he's talking about like doing gross sex shit, and he's like, right. And then he goes back to talking about Whitney Houston or like Phil Collins or Genesis or whatever the fuck he was talking about. There's a part where he was about to murder a guy. He's listening to "Hip to Be Square" by Huey Lewis, and it's like, so he's like he plays the music on. And he's like, man, I'm really interested in Huey Lewis and the News. Their early stuff was really experimental and new wave, but not really my thing. But I think that with their album Sports, they really took off, and they've gotten to like a more commercial direction. He's like putting on a raincoat and sharpening an axe, and the guy's like sitting in the chair. He's like, why is everything covered? And he's like, oh, don't worry about that. And he keeps talking about Huey Lewis, and then he gets to the part where he goes like, hey, Paul, what? And he turns around, he just fucking stabs him in the throat and cuts him repeatedly with the axe. And I was like, wow, that was fucking weird. Cool movie. I like it. I feel that a lot of the book was a lot more allowed to be ambiguous because it's a book, you know?
Movie had some
Versus
restrictions.
movie sort of obligated to answer questions the way a lot of movies are. But it's really, really, really good, and I do like it a lot as a movie. So yeah. Brett, also the guy who wrote the book, Bret Easton Ellis, is kind of an asshole anyway. So like a woman directed this movie, Mary Herron. I think it's a really good job. But when Bret Easton Ellis heard a woman was directing, he's like, a woman can't direct movies. And I'm like, shut up, man.
Oh, that type of thing.
Yeah. Well, it's like how Orson Scott Card's kind of homophobic, and everyone's like, how could he be? He wrote Ender's Game. I'm like, you remember that book is from the 80s, right? And that man is significantly older than you think he is. And grew up in a different time. So it's not really weird. Which reminds me of like all those significantly older folks who are like, the concept of gay is foreign to them. Like yeah, like it makes me think of this joke that somebody told where it was like, you ever see like an old guy walking around a sauna just completely naked? And it's like, because the idea of someone being gay and looking at his dick could not even cross his mind. So he is unconcerned.
Jeez.
And I was like, wow. I was like, yeah, what do you mean gay? What? People aren't gay. Like, it's just...
People aren't gay.
Yeah, like that. It's just weird. It's just a weird like way to view the world when you were raised in the 20s. But
America.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. Lots of places people just don't. They're not like
Was
some
Japan
places
like that though?
Well, Japan's thing is more usually if it's girls, yeah, it's a phase, and if it's guys, don't tell nobody.
But wasn't
Japan.
that the same, right? No.
That's what I mean. Like, people didn't even really think of it as gay. It was weird. It was a weird time for a lot of people. It's hard to even begin to explain homosexual precedents in Japan when you have to like get into like the opera and the prostitutes and then the other stuff. Like, it's a whole thing. No, it's a bizarrely like as a country that's much more obsessed with tradition. It's weird to understand all of its idiosyncrasies without realizing. So they're Buddhist, but they're also Western, and Shintoism is still a thing. That's why like a lot of Japanese ghost stories are like, and she died with many brutal regrets, and she takes her revenge on people. Because there's that whole equilibrium crap from like Buddhism. But then the Shintoist thing of every time something dies, there's a ghost. It's like a bunch of different things. The purity of youth with Shichigo-san. It's a whole, so many weird things about that country that are hard to explain when you're not from there. And even when you're from there, it's much more difficult to explain it to other people. Like I said, that Fire Emblem thing where they're like that's gay conversion therapy, and they're like, what is that? I've never heard of that. It's like, well, yeah, they don't have that. Instead, they have the thing where a lot of the villains are vaguely trans or gay, because of course they're villains.
Jeez.
A fun time. What a fun time in that country. I just say, I can't remember what it was, but there was something where they were like, hey, do you think we should review this? And I'm like, why? It was like, well, it feels that like every crazy person who's a villain is also kind of gay. It was like, yeah, and I'm like, well, okay. God bless you, island nation of the rising sun. That's why I love weebs, man. Weebs are so fucking dumb. They don't know jack shit about their country. Like, I want to move to Japan. It's the best country on the planet. In what regard? The fact that criminals just kind of walk the streets and have offices? The police can hold you and not feed you?
I didn't know that.
Yes. Yeah, the legal system in Japan is weird and confusing. They're not obligated to feed you. And also, because Japan is a country, there's a lot of faith in social structures and things like that. You know how in America it's always innocent proven guilty?
Mm-hmm.
Right, well in Japan, if you're taken by the police, everyone just assumes something happened. They're like, well, no, you have to have done something. I don't know what you did, but you did something. So get ready to be for social suicide. Yay!
There's also a lot less crimes, right? Because like
I mean,
social suicide, like you said.
it's not. It's not that there's less crime. It's that the crime that shows up is really bad.
Yeah.
Like I said, criminals are allowed to just have offices. Yakuza just have offices because they're just that engendered into society at this stage. There's so much part of the culture there. There's nothing you can really do about it. So it's like, yeah, look, there's a Yakuza office. Do you want to go? No? Alright then. Nothing to say. They'll do shit where they'll go like, oh, hey, there was an earthquake, so we're going to give people free food. Don't forget this favor. And it's like, oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Oh, boy. But, yeah, I love American Psycho, so please, watch that movie. Good movie. I like that now we're leaving all the tangents till the end of the episode. At least we're not bogging down the middle of it anymore.
I mean, we still talked about Miyota, but yeah, I guess most of the tangents are there.
At least it was related. Not as bad as this one. Not as bad as this entire last 20 minutes where I talked about Japanese social structures. American Psycho is a good movie, everybody. Go watch it. Please don't say buy our merch again.
If you're listening, you get it.
Yeah, you get it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.